Greetings from the medicine cabinet. Welcome to Not Bad, the show where I take songs I previously disliked and see if I like them now. So I think I may have mentioned this artist before on Not Bad, as I was talking about how there was one artist on each record label I listened to that I tended to really not like any of their songs. For Monster Cat, it was Mode Step, and for Expanse, it was Cyanide. Although, through previous seasons of Not Bad, I've grown an appreciation for Cyanide and found a Mode Step song that I liked. And so, this is the artist MODUS, and his song is Perfection. I remember finding the irony in the fact that I didn't really like a song that was called Perfection. Like, I thought it was very imperfect. But as far as I remember, it was very Modus, and I couldn't really get into Modus's style very much. Although I have grown a new appreciation for his remix of, it was a Katori song. Yeah, it was their remix of Daijobu by Katori, and later when Modus went on to Rushdown, I really liked the stuff that he was putting on there, especially Over Me. But Dreamscape Modus I could never really get into, and so we're gonna see if Perfection is perhaps more perfect than I thought. Oh, this is cool. The piano is used very effectively with the really dark, epic pad. Ooh. Oh. There are so many sounds here, so many different sounds that are all used for different notes, but in such a way that, like, you feel you're surrounded in some sense. In a very cool sense. Oh, that's cool. I love how it all drops off like that. Okay, I don't know if that particular kind of build-up was the best for this kind of thing, but the chords are very cool. And the stuttery kind of feel of this song is very unique. The only thing is it... Oh, hold on. Hold that thought. That sound design was very cool. Oh, the toms as well. Oh, that's really cool. Oh, that's cool, and the way that it comes out of the drop as well is very cool. The only thing is, as I was saying earlier, it seems like perhaps it subverts my expectations a bit too much. Oh, cool, 8-bit kind of section. Mixed with the cool, like, reverby sort of pad. It subverts my expectations a little too much for me to kind of get into a rhythm. So that's perhaps my main problem with this song so far. This is really catchy though. How it all drops off and then goes into that. Like live, this would probably be amazing. Sound design seems a little random. Like the problem that I had with State of Emergency by Ben Lepper. And a lot of dubstep, honestly. Oh, but that was cool. I just love whenever he does that. That never gets old for me. Oh! What he did with the panning! That's amazing, I love that. This song makes me laugh. Modus very clearly put a lot of effort into this, and a lot of time. Like, he's clearly very pedantic about his production, otherwise he would not be able to make songs this complex. I like it when artists take a particular style and kind of explore all sorts of sides of that style and all possible executions of it in order to make a bunch of different songs. And often you get the complaint that all of an artist's songs sound the same when an artist does that. I tend to see it as, well, they're actually very different, but they're very different explorations of kind of the same foundational style. So I'm sure Modus does a lot of that, and he definitely does that in this track, Perfection. But I like the song a good bit. I think it's kind of like, you know, the cool kid at the table. Like, I can observe them from a distance and be like, wow, they're really cool, if only I really understood them. So some of the decisions in the production are going to bring this rating down a little bit, but honestly, like, not a whole lot, because I liked the song and would be able to get into it and would definitely listen to this song again. So I'm maybe going to give it an 8.5 out of 10, because some of the things that he did were amazing and befitting of a rating that high. And there were some other things that, you know, some other vibes that I couldn't quite get into. And now that I'm thinking about it, there were maybe more instances where I couldn't get into the vibe. So I'm actually going to take that back and bring it down to an 8 out of 10. I'm sorry. But I like this song, for the record. I think that it's very cool. And I think that Modus did a great job with the song, and it definitely deserved to be on Dreamscape. So these three upcoming artists were pretty up and coming in the anime EDM scene, still are, and so they were pretty much bound to work together at some point, and the fact that they all worked together on Dreamscape was cool. I just didn't exactly like the product. Specifically, this song is Ribbon by Kotori and Anemoy featuring Syntheon. This is the last Kotori pick of this season because it reaches the limit, but I believe this is also more of a melodic foray, specifically melodic dubstep, I believe. I haven't listened to a lot of Anemoy's stuff and didn't remember hearing a lot of Syntheon's influence, but we'll see kind of what it is exactly. I just remember not being able to really get into the melody, and so what is the melody? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. So let's get into it. I like that kind of higher texture, like the sample there. Ooh. I like this beat. Oh. Yeah, it's very Kotori. I'm not sure that I like how that lead is EQ'd. I think that kind of throws off the mixing for me. The way that that lead is EQ'd. Everything else sounds fine. Yeah, everything here is kind of unremarkably kind of classic to Kotori. We'll see how this shapes up. Oh, that's interesting. I'm trying to find something to take away from this track. And there's nothing like too catchy right now to take away from it. Maybe this vocal chop, but I have to try to make it catchy. I don't know that it's extremely catchy on its own merit. I'm getting some kind of Last Train Home vibes right now. I don't know much about Anemoy either, so I don't know how much Anemoy contributed production-wise to this track. But as I said, with Waterfall, this is much more melodic than Katori gets a lot of the time. And it doesn't normally do these kinds of beats as well. So probably Anemoy's direction. And I don't know what Syntheon did here either. Maybe he just went, yeah, and then they threw that in as the vocal chop. I don't know. This is kind of cool. It certainly doesn't blow me away, but it's cool on its own merit. It's very high frequency focused as well. I guess that's a very dreamscape-ish quality, perhaps. Yeah, it's not really, I'm not feeling the bass for one thing. I don't feel like there's a lot of it. Like, even the sub bass is very kind of like, maybe it's just very low. That's what I'm thinking. It's not in the bass and lower mid kind of area. I mean, the sub bass normally isn't in the lower mid kind of area. It's very easy for me to get distracted away from this song, which for melodic dubstep is a bit of a bad sign. But I like the bells. They're pretty. They're pretty. I didn't dislike it per se, but there was nothing that really stood out to me about that track. Like, although other songs have done this sort of like breakdown and intro structure and things like that better, I think. If I was to come to this song for anything, it would be for those parts and not for the drops. Not even really the interspersing of the basses was particularly notable to me. As a melodic dubstep track, this wasn't particularly remarkable, and as a track as a whole, including like a track on Katori's discography, for instance, as this is the only song I've listened to from Anemoy, I probably should listen to more of Anemoy, but if I was going to look for Katori songs, it would not be for this one. So because this was pretty middle of the road, but there were some things that I liked a good bit about it, I'm going to give it a 5.5 out of 10. I think that they did a pretty good job with this, but I think that it could have been a lot better and a lot more memorable. And I think that it could have been that because I believe in these artists and believe that they can make something more memorable than Ribbon. So that being said, 5.5 out of 10 is about where I'm going to put it. If I'm going to listen to any of these people's discographies, I'm probably going to go to other songs. It's more atmospheric, kind of random. What was that sample? Oh, fun piano. Oh, this is extremely clever, actually, musically.